2 Samuel, chapter 5. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and said thus, Behold, we are thy bones, and thy flesh. And in time past, when Saul was our king, thou leddest Israel in and out, and the Lord hath said to thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king to Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them in Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. In Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. The king also and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, who spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking that David could not come thither. But David took the fort of Zion. This is the city of David. Now David had said the same day, Whosoever smiteth the Jebusites, and getteth up to the gutters, and smiteth the lame and blind, which David's soul hateth, I will prefer him. Therefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into that house. So David dwelt in that fort, and called it the city of David. And David built round about it, from Millo and inward. And David prospered and grew, for the Lord God of hosts was with him. Hiram also, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, and carpenters, and masons for walls, and they built David an house. Then David knew that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem, after he was come from Hebron. And more sons and daughters were born to David. And these be the names of the sons that were born unto him in Jerusalem: Shemua, Shobab, and Nathan, and Solomon, and Ibar, and Elishua, and Nepheg, and Japhia, and Elishama, and Eliada, and Eliphalet. But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king over Israel, all the Philistines came up to seek David, and when David heard, he went down to a fort. But the Philistines came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. Then David asked counsel of the Lord, saying, Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into mine hands? And the Lord answered David, Go up, for I will doubtless deliver the Philistines into thine hands. Then David came to Baal-perazim, and smote them there, and said, The Lord hath divided mine enemies asunder before me, as waters be divided asunder. Therefore he called the name of that place Baal-perazim. And there they left their images, and David and his men burnt them. Again the Philistines came up, and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And when David asked counsel of the Lord, he answered, Thou shalt not go up, but turn about behind them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And when thou hearest the noise of one going in the tops of the mulberry trees, then remove. For then shall the Lord go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. Then David did so as the Lord had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba until thou come to Gezer.